batch-like things. Batch-like things. When you are planning your week, you are planning your tasks, you are planning your activities, put like things together. I don't know if you realize this, but shifting between tasks can cost you as much as 40% of your productive time. That's research from the American Psychological Association. 40% loss of productivity, 40% loss of your time just between task switching. I don't know if you're like this, but y'all, the switching gears back and forth in my business or in my life is exhausting. Trying to go from one thing that is detail-oriented to another thing that is creative, and then squeezing in one task here, and then trying to write a blog here, and then record a reel here, and then fill out an invoice here. It's exhausting. All of those tasks are very different, and they use a very different part of your brain. It's a different gear. When you're switching gears, it takes time to get into that gear, to warm up to the speed of that gear, to even be able to get the task done. So you're killing your productivity when you're switching back and forth, when you're multitasking, and your days are filled with a long to-do list that have nothing to do with each other. So instead, I want you to put like things together. Batch-like things. I do this in my schedule where I will block on my calendar large blocks of time, 2 hours, 3 hours, and I will knock out a ton of the same type of activity. So I might block an hour or 2 hours at the start of my week to record reels for social media. I might block another 3 hours to write all of my podcasts for the week. Another section of time where I'm going to knock out all of my emails or all of my detail-oriented stuff like invoicing and reporting and budgets and that kind of stuff. When you put like things together and then you have the time blocked on your calendar, you are so much faster in your work. You enjoy it more. You get more done. You have a higher quality of output where you're not making mistakes in the switching of gears. You are increasing your time. Just simply putting like things together will not only increase your efficiency, it will literally increase your time. Think about this in your business. Think about the type of tasks that you do and how you manage them. What would it look like for you to block large blocks of time to put like things together? You know, when I very first started my business about 1.5 years ago, before I hired my business manager, I did everything myself. I was like many of you, a solopreneur, the CEO, chief everything officer. I did everything, including spreadsheets, including invoicing, including details and things that I suck at, like Zoom links and codes and things that I would just make mistakes again and again and again. And I was exhausted of the switching back and forth between one side of my brain and another side of my brain, and it just didn't work. I made mistakes, and I felt like at the end of the day, I was exhausted and I'd gotten very little done. When you change how you manage your schedule and you will block large blocks of time for like things, you will work way faster. You will knock out one email and then the next email and then the next email. You will write blog after blog after blog, reel after reel after reel, podcast after podcast after podcast. Even when I'm writing my podcast, I break it up by which podcast I'm writing. So for example, I will have a block of time where I write all of the episodes for the next month for Get Your Hopes Up, which is my faith-based show. Then I will have a separate block of time where I write all of the episodes for Business Bootcamp, this show that you're watching right now. Why? Because they're different shows. It's different types of content. I don't want to be switching back and forth between strictly faith-based content and strictly tactical business content. I want to get my brain in that gear and stay in that gear because I'm going to get more done. It's going to be more quality work. I'm going to have more fun. And then, of course, have more time as my efficiency increases. So put like things together. Batch like things, large blocks of time on your calendar where you are putting similar tasks together. This is going to instantly increase your productivity, increase the quality of your work, increase your enjoyment of your work, and increase your time. You're getting more done in less time simply by reducing your task switching, your gear switching, your multitasking. Put the like things together and watch how you get hours of your life back.